Welcome to the Black Educated Tea podcast where we have conversations on how Black women navigate through life and education. I'm your host, Makeda Marie. I'm a life coach and strategic consultant. In this safe space and in this podcast, we have conversations on how we balance and navigate through life, education, corporate America, entrepreneurship, motherhood, love, just so many topics. It's just endless. Please join us for the Black Educated Tea podcast so you can be a part of these magnificent conversations. Welcome to the Black Educated Tea podcast. I'm your host, Makeda Marie, and today's topic is blessings. But as always, before we get into the tea, let's get into the tea. So today I am drinking a bee-free tea, and it just has tangerine and ginger in it. It is a really good tea. It's, of course, a little sweet because of the tangerine. Of course, it's caffeine free. I've been doing a little bit of mixture lately. I've been doing some caffeine free and some teas with caffeine in it. But most of them, 90% of the teas I drink are caffeine free. So I am drinking a bee-free tea, and it has tangerine and ginger in it. Ginger has a lot of good benefits in it. So let's go ahead and get into this topic of blessings. And of course, my shirt has blessings on it as well. Blessings mean so many different things to so many different people. And I can honestly say I am guilty of, when I think of blessings, or definitely in the past, I try not to do that as much now, but I still do. But when I think of blessings, the first thing I would go to is material things. So I will look at if I got blessed with a new car, or if I got blessed with being in another financial bracket, or if I got blessed, with clothes or shoes. I consider that as a blessing. And they are. They really are. Material things are a blessing. But I am getting to a point in my life that I start to see that my blessings are so much more than just material things. So me waking up this morning was a blessing. Me waking up and my family was, able to be there, sound mind and, in health and all of that is a blessing. Me being able to get in my car and to drive to wherever I need to go is a blessing. Me being able to go to the store and purchase healthy foods and, try to eat better is a blessing. So I'm starting to consider so many other things in my life as a blessing instead of just material things. Because for me, that was always my go-to. Anything materialistic, I would be like, man, thank you. Thank you for this blessing. And no matter what it is that you gain, you accomplish, you achieve, you give thanks for it. And you do look at it as a blessing. But I'm at a point that so many other things, me having peace, me having love, me having joy, me being able to go outside and sit in the sun and just soak up, all of that radiant energy from the sun is a blessing. So what are some blessings in your life? Aside from material things, what are some of the blessings in your life? How are you health-wise? How is your family health-wise? How are you mentally? How is your family mentally? Just so many different things when you look at blessings, and it's hard not to associate, for me at least, it's hard not to associate, the financial aspects as a blessing. Because it is, everything I continue to do, any accomplishment, any goal that I attain, I look at it as a blessing, and I cherish it. And I think, at some point in my life, I wasn't appreciative of it. And I was taking a lot of things for granted when I should have just been looking at, I'm blessed and highly favored. That's how I should look at things instead of taking things for granted, as I do, as we all do at times. I'm very guilty of taking things for granted and not, counting my blessings and realizing how blessed I am. I've worked for several different companies, And just to see, I work with people with disabilities. I work with kids with cancer. And, so I've seen a lot of the spectrums, and I've seen, the families of the kids that, have cancer. And, I can just, the parents, they look so defeated. They look so tired and so lost. And, even the kids, you can see that tiredness, but you see that joy. You see the joy. They are going through chemo. Their bodies are weak and they're tired, but they still have the best of spirits, and they're still just going through life smiling and laughing and, making the best of it. So I'm like, what am I complaining about? Why am I not counting my blessings when I see what these families are going through? Or even like when I work with adults with disabilities, they still had some of the best spirits. I work with people that could do absolutely nothing for themselves, but their spirit just radiate positive energy because they still had a positive outlook on life. So I'm learning to count my blessings because I have absolutely nothing to complain about right now. Things will never be perfect, but they damn near are. I have absolutely nothing to complain about when I look at the places I've worked at and the things I have encountered and the people I have encountered in life. I'm like, why am I not grateful and counting my blessings? Because things could be so much worse than what they are. And I'm a really positive person. At least I try to be for the most part. And it can get difficult at times when you are surrounded by negativity. So it's hard to try to be that rose when you're surrounded by thorns. It's really hard to be that rose when you are surrounded by thorns. And I'm usually a positive person, but it can be difficult at times. But I make it my due diligence to make sure that I'm now showing the universe, God, how grateful I am for my blessings. And I noticed that once I started really being appreciative of my blessings and more blessings started to come. Look how amazing that works. When you start showing appreciation for what you have and the blessings that are presently in your life, it's amazing how other blessings and other doors and other opportunities and things come towards you. But it first starts with you being presently grateful for the blessings that you do have. I'm not going to say you can't. It's really hard to get to that next step and really grow and achieve more when you are not appreciative for what you have. Because you can. The thing is, you can the best, but you have to learn how to be appreciative toward it. And so that's what I'm learning to do. I'm learning to be appreciative toward every and anything, people, places, thing, anything that I encounter, because I want to continue to be blessed, of course, as we all do. And so I would just love to hear, how do you give praise and thanks to the blessings that you do have in your life? And how are you gradually getting yourself prepared for those other blessings as well? Because the blessings are going to come. So how are you preparing yourself or being appreciative toward the blessings that you currently have in order to get those next step blessings? Because I know that I wake up every morning and I wake up with a smile on my face and say thank you for the blessings that I do have and the blessings that I will continue to get. So how are you showing appreciation for the blessings that you do have in your life? I would love to just hear your comments, your thoughts, and your opinions. And as always, this is the Black Educated Tea Podcast.